Hey guys, welcome back to LIFM, and this is something I guess I'm gonna be calling early scoops, and it's basically gonna be just montage of. I don't want to say montage. It's gonna be about 5 matches that end really quickly. Sometimes it's gonna be me winning in the first few turns, or sometimes it's gonna be my opponent win the first few turns. It's exactly what it sounds like when someone scoops really early for whatever reason. It's happened to all of us. Sometimes the game just isn't worth playing, or maybe you're salty. I don't know. Anyways, the first game in Early Scoops Volume 1 is gonna be myself playing Knight of the Gilt-Leaf and my opponent playing Animar. I faced a lot of Animars this weekend apparently. So this hand looks amazing, so I keep this hand. First turn, Mana Crypt, Forest, and I Kodama's Reach for my swamps. Pass the turn. Second turn here, I just put Nath out and pass the turn. Third turn, my opponent already starts to discard. I swing for 4. I him to torque my opponent. They're down to 2 cards in hand, and I pass my third turn, and my opponent scoops. So yeah, that's the first match in Early Scoops Volume 1. Okay, so in this match, I'm going to be playing Rorik Thar, and I am facing, what's his name again? Daxos. So my thought process in keeping this hand is, this guy is a very bad matchup for this deck at times because I run a lot of big creatures. In this game, I have Sylvan Ranger, 2 lands in hand, and I'm gonna get the third land with this, which means I can play. You have my Dryad on curve, which means this is a blocker for this, and so's this. So that's my reason for keeping this kind of hand. So my opponent plays land, passes, I do the same. Second turn, land pass, which is perfect for me. So second turn, I play the Ranger, I get another Forest, and I pass it back. So third turn, as expected, Daxos comes out. My third turn, I play my Dryad, get another Forest, and pass the turn right back. At this point, if my opponent swings, regardless of what shenanigans they could have, I'm blocking. As long as this is alive, I'm blocking with this, and if it's not, I'll block with this. So my opponent swings, I block, and they exile my creature, but it's already blocked. So I got Crib swapped, which is fine. They pass the turn. Since they're tapped out here, I land Garrick, and I make a token. I don't attack with anything, I just attempt to pass the turn, and my opponent scoops. So that was the end of that game. Welcome back, guys. In this game, I'm going to be playing Rorik Thar, and I'm facing Erebos. I greedily kept this hand because I had 2 lands in hand. I had Burning Tree Shaman, I had Xenagos. I figure I just need to draw 2 cards, and I need to draw 2 lands, at least 1, and I have a couple turns to do so. So I kept this hand. So I start with a mountain, pass the turn. I don't draw a land. Play my second land, pass the turn. My opponent plays Mana Crypt into Erebos. Passes to my turn 3. I miss my land drop and pitch. My opponent's turn 3 is Royal Assassin and draw a card, pass the turn. I miss another land drop, and on my opponent's 4th turn, they play Skithrix or Skittles. Erebos becomes a creature, and they swing. And at this point, it's just game. So the reason I'm putting this up is I did lose on turn 5. I scooped on turn 5. And the other thing is, I kind of think even if I drew better, I probably wouldn't have been able to beat this hand with these cards. Even if I had drawn lands, I don't think I'd have been able to. So yeah, I lost that one. This game's a little bit different in that I've never ever faced this commander before. So X and tap, name a card, target opponent reveals X cards at random from his or her hand, then the player discards all cards with that name reveal this way. Activate this ability only during your turn. Okay, anyways, so I mulled to 6 and I kept this hand because it means first turn Llanowar Elf, second turn Burning Tree, Shaman, Barin, Thoughtseize or something like that. So I'm actually on the draw here, not the play, but the plan is still the same. So second turn Burning Tree, Shaman. My opponent plays Oversoul, and third turn Bloodbraid Elf. I get Great Stack Beetle, which is pro my opponent's entire deck. I swing for 6 and pass the turn, and my opponent scoops on turn 4. I'm not sure what's in their hand. Would you guys have scooped in this situation? I'm guessing it depends on what you have in hand. I don't know what he has in hand. It just seemed like maybe I'd have played another couple turns or so. Okay, so in the 5th and final game of this volume, I'm going to be playing my Rorik Thar deck, and I'm facing Azusa. This hand is really sketchy in this deck. My Rorik Thar can beat Azusa, but it completely depends on the draws. And this hand realistically is slow, so if my opponent doesn't have a slow hand as well, I'm going to be in trouble, but I keep. My opponent plays Wild Growth first turn, which means second turn Azusa. And yeah, so third turn I play my Borderland Ranger, which doesn't even really ramp me, it just gets me a land in my hand. My opponent plays Horn of Greed, and this is just such a ridiculous engine in these decks. This is one of the cards that they want to see early game, because basically they're just going to be cantripping 2-3 times per turn. They're going to be playing lands and drawing cards. So Temple, draw a card. Forest, draw a card. Oracle, next card is Seek the Horizons. All I have is a Spellbreaker Behemoth. I swing for 2. Obviously my opponent's not going to do anything. I see Ulamog there, so I know it's just the beginning of the end here. And then I see Duplicant, and I just threw it in. That was turn 4. My opponent's up to 4, 8, 10, 12 mana, and they're not done their turn yet. So I end up scooping that one. Let me know, would you guys have scooped there? And as I said, for this early scoop series, if there's interest, I'll try to do more volumes later on. If there's not enough interest, then I'll just scrap the whole thing. So let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know if there's any of these games that you guys would not have scooped in versus scooping in. And thanks for watching.